Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, distinguished guests, it's a great pleasure to welcome you to our international conference titled Sustainable and Resilient Urban-Rural Partnerships. This international conference is part of the scientific events within the German presidency of the Council of the European Union. My name is Sigrun Karliczek. I'm an urban researcher and I'm representing the Helmholtz Center for Environmental Research in Leipzig, Germany, the host of our conference.
Good morning also from my side. My name is Stefan Bartke. I'm from the German Environment Agency. I am representing the Stadt-Land Plus funding measure by the German Ministry of Education and Research. Sigrun Karliczek and I, we are your conference chairs. And we are very proud that we can welcome participants from all over the world. 450 registered participants are joining us from all 5 continents. Almost 50 countries are involved, and that makes us very proud and excited to share the event with you. This also means that our conference language is English, but for our relatively large number of German participants, there is German interpretation available. It is available in a separate room in the agenda point on the grand opening. And I just once say it in German. Wenn Sie eine deutsche Übersetzung benötigen, finden Sie diese im separaten Raum in der Agenda. We will also later switch to German for a discussion, but for the moment stay in English for the introduction. We also have with us a graphic reporting support, Ms. Schmidt-Sari, who's joining us online. And time by time, we will just share the picture that she is making herself and for us about the event. You are invited to share your conference comments. Share them with us using the chat box, or if it's something like a recommendation that you would make available for a longer time, share them on the wall of ideas that we have attached to this session, but also to the other sessions. And with that, to cut it short, we are very proud that Minister Anja Karliczek took the personal patronage of our event. Anja Karliczek is Minister of Germany for Education and Research, and she sends us her words of welcome and endorsement. We are going to Minister Karliczek.
Sehr geehrter Herr Ministerpräsident Kretschmer, lieber Michael, sehr geehrter Herr Oberbürgermeister Jung, sehr geehrter Herr Professor Teutsch, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren
and gentlemen. Urban and rural areas are faced with great divides. Digitalization is changing profoundly our life, our living together. Climate change shows us that we are putting too big of a burden on our planet. This is why we have to work together and answer the same questions, rural and urban areas. How does housing look in the future? How do we shape mobility? How do we enter the energy transition? In Europe, we want to make this change happen. We want citizens to participate in our research. And this is why we fund a variety of research projects where, for example, students do research with experts on plastic waste in our waters. And this is just one example on how citizens can participate. Innovation and strong regions are important to make our goals reality. One important example is Leipzig and the surrounding areas. The former lignite mining region has successfully made a change after the reunification of Germany. They were very creative in changing the cities and urban areas. Nowadays, Leipzig is a very attractive location for science and businesses with a very attractive cultural offer. We need these kind of sustainable and attractive regions everywhere in Europe. And this is what we want to do with our financial support for research and innovation. For example, with our measure, Urban and Rural Areas Plus. This is how we network between municipalities, between research, between the citizens, and how we develop innovations for urban and rural areas. Many of the actors are here today, amongst others, also from the region of Leipzig. Cities and Rural Areas Plus is part of our federal strategy for innovation and sustainability. At the beginning of the year, We had studies that showed that this program has had an overall positive impact. And this program called FUNA will now publish a new strategy which are aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of the 2030 Agenda. This is how we make a transition towards a just and green future. We want to implement the climate goals. We want to protect biodiversity and green spaces. We want to transform business, economy, and our society so that we can live well in the future, because we are convinced developing regions sustainably needs comprehensive strategies. And more than ever, we need to think together how we can match society, economic needs, and cultural needs. We want to be courageous. We want to try out new ideas. I'm looking forward to having you with us, and I wish you a fruitful conference.
Thank you, Minister Karliczek. Minister Karliczek said that cities and rural areas face great challenges, and that Leipzig has been an outstanding example of structural change. Leipzig has become a flourishing place for commerce and research with wonderful cultural offerings. I fully agree with this description, and I invite you all to come to Leipzig and to discover these things as soon as possible. Our next speaker will be the mayor of the city of Leipzig, Jung. He is also the president of the Association of Cities and Towns in Germany, der Deutsche Städtetag. Unfortunately, he cannot join us in person because of corona-related meetings during the entire day. But he sent us words of welcome and appreciation to our conference. Mayor Jung will speak in German, and the English translation will be provided directly in this channel.
Dear Minister President, ladies and gentlemen, friends from all the world, welcome to Leipzig, to this fantastic conference where it's in fact about something very crucial. How will the future of our cities and the rural areas be? How do we organize the exchange and the living together in this relationship between rural areas and cities? We have diverse and many different research projects, and we can organize these relationships every day again for the living together in the future. With the surrounding areas, we have cooperation relations. We have a metropolitan area that we established, and together we organize the development of the spaces because, and I'm deeply convinced, the city cannot without the rural area and vice versa, and we need ourselves, each other for the development, also for cooperative rural area development, especially in the field of climate adjustment. There are no borders between urban and rural areas. I wish you every success for the conference, and I wish you good results and good research results and good talks.
We thank Mayor Jung for his endorsing words. Also, we look forward to interesting and fruitful discussions with you. The city of Leipzig provided to us an impressive movie about the past, the present, and the future challenges of its urban development. Leipzig with a history that is very exciting and large. We will be glad to show this movie tonight as the concluding point in our agenda at 6:45 Central European time. So we hope you will be with us at that point. And now we will switch to German and invite discussants to our group.